All right, everybody. It is Mr. Mean coming at you live from swampy Duluth, Minnesota. I don't know why it's so hot today, but it is hot. We're a little early. Oh, I gotta trying to do two things at once here. So I know he's see if anybody comes in the chat. Let's see what's going on at Discord. Let's see if I can get a link and put it in Discord here. I don't know. Oh, there it is. All right, let's see. We'll post this in the copy, and we'll post this in the Discord chat under Mr. Mean. Sorry for the disorganization, guys. I don't think anybody's on the stream yet. Just got these in the mail today, so I wanted to. I'm chatting over this, even though nobody's in the stream, for when I post it to YouTube, because it'll post to YouTube as well. All right, so I've got that in there in the YouTubes. All righty, let's get back to the YouTubes. Let's see, we got 10 more minutes before anybody gets along, and then we'll go from there. So let's see what's going on. You get my mic all properly sets up so everybody can hear me real good. I apologize if you hear my kids screaming in the background, but hey, that's what you get when you get live. And the nice part is, if nobody comes on, then we'll just do a live video for so on and so on. And my Patreon guys will get it. We'll get it first, and then it will go up on YouTube later. So let's see here. I'm just gonna. Okay, bear with me if I go dark here for a minute. I'm going to post this so these guys will know what it is. Alrighty. So nobody's still in the stream. That's okay. This was very impromptu, and I don't expect anybody to be on there. I posted it in all the places. Hopefully, my Patreons will get it in the next couple of minutes, and we'll get some people, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. We have been live for a whopping 6 minutes. I told everybody it would be at 6 p.m., so gave everybody a 20, 30-minute heads-up notice. Yeah. Oh, got a little Mountain Dew, otherwise known as the urine of the beast. So what we're going to talk about today, I'm just going to go through, nobody's on the stream yet. We're going to show a little bit about what we're going over today. Realms of Terrinoth, which is this book, is set in Fantasy Flight's Genesis rules mechanic, which for those that don't know, Genesis is basically the generic version of the Star Wars RPG that Fantasy Flight currently has the rights to. It uses their funky dice, the proprietary dice. They're a standard polyhedral set, but they have specific symbols on them that are reminiscent of this game and what you need. So the cool part is you don't need to go out and buy the Genesis dice. If you have tons of the Star Wars dice, you can use those. The colors are slightly off, but they are close enough that it doesn't matter. And you can use them. The symbols are close enough, again, that it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really matter. You'll be able to use it. So you need this book for the base mechanics. You need this book for the specific mechanics for that realm. And then what we're going to talk about is the goodies that are in here that just came in the mail. So we give everybody a couple more minutes. We got 5 more minutes until we go live. But for people that are watching this later on, we'll just give it to them. There's also, for those that don't know, there's an awesome Discord channel, Genesis RPG, parentheses FFG. Just look for it on Discord. There's also a Google Plus page that I'm also a member of, and it's a pretty active page. So those are awesome, also cool things to go and do, and go from there. There, and people should be able to see this as soon as it goes hot. So if you're a fan of the Star Wars system and you haven't tried the Genesis system, you will like it. They're very similar systems. The biggest change, of course, I mean, Star Wars has force powers. Genesis has, well, Realms of Terrinoth in particular has magic. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Star Wars has a choose a path for your talents. Genesis has a pyramid path. So you have to take, you have to have more of the powers above before you take the next rank in powers. So you got to have a rank 1 power before you can take a rank 2 power. You've got to have 2 rank 2 powers before you take a rank 3 power, so on and so forth. But it's a very cool system. There's lots of cool abilities between the 2 books. And like I said, when some people get in the channel here, we'll put it up. So just bear with us. We'll get more into it, and I'll talk about it, because if nobody joins the chat, I'll just do a video. Patreons will get it right away. Regular YouTube subscribers will get it a week later. So next Monday, it'll be available for them. but the Patreon subscribers will have access to it right away. If you'd like to join my Patreon, there'll be notes in the bottom when I post this to YouTube, or you can go to Patreon Mr. Mean and you'll find me, and you can subscribe there. Patreon's it's $5, $10, and $15, and all the information is inside of it. So go to Patreon. It's a great little way to help support my channel and put food on my table for my kid. So anyway, because those that don't know, I'm unemployed right now, still looking for work. It's been brutal, but it's getting there. It's getting better. I've had some very positive interviews, and so we'll see what comes about. Nobody's in the chats or anything. So people are complaining that they can't find the I pre-ordered mine, so that way I would make sure I would have them for when my game starts, because I'm going to start a game here real soon. So 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. Like I said, we'll put a timestamp. We're 11 minutes and 30 seconds into this. If nobody jumps on at 6:05, then that's when I'll post a video, and I'll put a timestamp on when the actual talking about real stuff that you want to hear starts. But we'll give people a couple minutes. People are just getting off work, that kind of thing, and give them a chance to get home and get settled and see it. I did post it everywhere, so hopefully people can see it. And we'll go from there. I'm hoping to get a couple people on the channel because it would be nice. Let me see. Let me go back to Discord here and look. See if any of my buddies. Uzelli said he was going to try to make it. No, my friend Farrell's not on. Let's just see. Yeah, not a lot of people on the internet today, the interwebs. Probably hear the clicking. Nothing but crickets. I've done these 2 or 3 times before, and they've usually had quite a few people in here. This time it's kind of quiet. Like I said, I'll put a footer in the notes for when the actual chatting starts. We'll give them till about 6:05. It is 6 p.m. right now, Central Standard Time. So we'll give them till 6:05 or 6:10, and then we'll see what happens. Like I said, you're not going to miss anything because I'll put it on YouTube. It'll automatically post to YouTube, but I'll go in and mark it private, and then next Monday it'll be available for general consumption. My Patreons get it today. They'll be able to get it as soon as it posts up to YouTube, unless they log in and watch it live with me. So we'll see. I hope everybody's and again, this is just me babbling for posterity and to have something to do, but I hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. Well, I got a 1 like already, and I got 1 person watching, but they haven't posted anything. So whoever you are, chop in the chat there and say hi. And somebody gave it a thumbs up. Well, that was nice. Thank you. Yeah, we'll go over stuff here. Hoping we'd get a couple people in the chat. So it's 6:01. Woo! We're learning how to tell time, kids. My son is angry. He's mad at something. Who knows? He's spoiled at daycare, so we're trying to unspoil him when he gets home. So let's give it a couple more minutes. He's running. My little guy's running around looking for me because I got the little curtain closed in my office and he can't see me. He hears my voice, but he can't see me. He's 19 months old, so. So just check Discord and see if anybody's. All right. Well. .602 time is. Why is it when you're bored, time passes so slowly, but when you're busy, time passes super fast? I've never figured that out. Anybody knows that riddle there, let me know, because I'd like to know. All right, so we're doing 16 minutes here of dead silence, and it's driving me nuts. So somebody left already. Jeez. All right, well, we're going to get started. So I went to my mailbox today, and I got some goodies. And we're going to open these together. And like I said, nobody's in the channel right now, but we'll talk about these. So I guess evidently, according to on the Discord channel, these are hard to come by now, and they may already be sold out. And that is amazing if that's the case. But FFG has been known to not print nearly enough. I don't know if they're being conservative or if they're just, trying to watch how much they send. I don't know. But I'm going to go to their website right now and see, because these just became available. I pre-ordered through Game Nerds, shameless plug, GameNerds.com or Miniature Market. They had them for about the same price, but Game Nerds had a slightly better price, and so I went with Game Nerds. So what I'm doing right now is I'm checking Realms of Terrinoth. Oh, that's Heroes of Terrinoth. There's a new card game out as well. I don't know anything about it. Let me see if it links to. Nope, it doesn't. I hate it when they do that. This is just their card games. There we go. Role-playing games. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going on their website to look and see if the cards are still available, because a lot of times FFG's website is up before anything else. So there's the Realms of Terrinoth, and they should have the Friends and Foes. There we go. 2 adversary decks. Oh, well, according to FFG's website, they are in stock. So I guess evidently people have been saying they can't find them in the game store. But you can order them directly from FFG, which, for those that don't know, Fantasy Flight Games, or you can get them through Game Nerds, Miniature Market. I'm sure all the online Amazon has them as well. I didn't see them on Amazon with Prime, because if I would have got it that way. But then again, they just released, and I've got them today. I don't know what date they actually came out. I might be able to have an idea here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Terrinoth. Let's see. So this guy, Haphazard Ninja, said he spent all Friday and some of Saturday, and within 60 miles of Toledo, Ohio, he could only find 4 decks. All were sent to one store without them ordering it, and all 4 were Dizzyans. Anyone else have any better luck finding them? Nobody else replied. But if he would come on here and watch my show, he would know. So let's see here. I found someone just joined, so thank you for watching. Like I said, I pre-ordered mine, and I got them in the mail today. So I guess they came out Friday or Saturday, so that's not too bad. Game Nerds, GAMENERDZ.com. Shameless plug. They're not giving me anything or anything like that, but so these are, if you're aware, Questwise. Mr. Mean, what's up? Hey, Questwise, that's my buddy, my fellow YouTuber. Why am I typing to you? You can hear me. I'm awake. What's going on, buddy? I don't know if you've seen these yet. I don't know if your bookstore's gotten any of these. My camera just decided to go stupid. The Realms of Terrinoth denizen cards. There's the Denizens adversary deck and the Foes of Terrinoth. Love me some Game Nerds. Yeah, Game Nerds is pretty awesome. But I know you work at a bookstore in Michigan, right? So I was wondering if the store got these in or not, because I know you're an unaffiliated bookstore. You're not like Barnes and Nobles or anything like that. So did your store get any of these for the people that might be watching in your area? Could they come and pick them up there? Since I know your store does sell some RPG stuff. And of course, these go with the Realms of Terrinoth RPG, which you need the Genesis book, which if you haven't picked up Genesis or you're waiting, go check my review of Genesis and my review of Terrinoth. Questwise says we have not yet, still setting up our Alliance Games account, but soon. Ooh, very good to know. So worst case scenario, if I can't get it, I can call you. Those that don't know, and for, like I said, those that'll be watching this later on the YouTubes, Questwise is a fellow YouTuber. We got started roughly about the same time. I think I got started a little bit before him, but he is fast growing. You are an independent bookstore. That is awesome. That's what I thought. And I remember looking at your thing on Facebook because I saw you got some sort of award at work, and it was a really nice write-up in the newspaper or something like that, which I thought was really cool. So what we're going to do is, I think, let's pop open the denizens first. Let's see what it says on the back here. The denizens of Terrinoth are as diverse as the wondrous lands themselves. Let's see. I'm not going to read the whole thing. This deck requires the Genesis rulebook and the Realms of Terrinoth supplement. It doesn't tell me how many cards. That's what I wanted to know. Brilliant books in Traverse City, Michigan. We ship countrywide as well. Woohoo! So there you heard it. You guys can also go through them. So let's see here. So we're just going to go through a couple of these. Of course, you get your splat card. Get your splat card with the instructions on the back on how to use these. Using this deck. And we're not going to read that yet, but man, wow. Okay, I'm telling you right now. If you've used any of the Star Wars cards, I'm going to turn this light on. It helps to have super long arms. If you've used any of the Star Wars cards for their powers or for the adversaries or the people of Star Wars, the people of the galaxy or whatever it is, the art on there is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Those are cool little cards for $7-8 for a deck. Usually get about 25 to 35, 40 cards in each little pack. And they have one for all your spell power or your force powers and so on and so forth. So this is nothing new to Fantasy Flight. But man, look, this is I can't even say the word. I'll just hold it up. But what's nice about these is they give the art. My camera focus in on that. Is that amazing or what? That is awesome. That is some good art. And of course, there's their stats on the bottom. And then on the back, it tells you their talents, abilities, and equipment. And then a little blurb of fiction. So, man, that's cool. Here's a baronial knight. So, wow, look at that. That's just, the art is stunning. It reminds me a lot from the art from Rune Wars, which is also their IP, set in the same realm of Terrinoth. Let's see if I have any other ones pull up. A lot of this is the character art from the book. Oh, wow. The Gnome Minstrel. Focus for me, baby. No, it's not going to focus because my fat head is in the way. There we go. So, wow. Yeah, a lot of this is from the book. This is amazing. The art's kind of got that cartoony yet kind of cool feel to it. The rune golems, everybody's seen these. Everybody knows these. The rune golems are from the miniatures game, but they're prevalent in here too. And again, stats on the front, and then talents, abilities, and equipment on the back. I'm just looking to see what else pops. And then a card with the credits, the end card. So we're not going to go all of them. I want you guys to go out and buy them because they're neat. But that's just a couple, seeing if anything else strikes me. See, where's the dwarf? There. Oh, look at this. The Forest Guardian. Look at that. Really nice. And again, stats on the front, talents and abilities on the back with a short piece of fiction. Wow. So these are the people. And then someone else just joined the chat. Welcome. We're looking at the Realms of Terrinoth player cards, or GM aids, or player aids, whatever you want to call them. These are very similar to the Star Wars cards that they put out, that Fantasy Flight put up. These are, I got them through Game Nerds. Like I said, shameless plug. If I knew what I did with the pack that I just had. There it is. They're clear packs, man. You can't see them. Quest-wise, are you going to be picking these up? Are you running any Terrinoth? Let me know, man. Because these, I will tell you right now, I use the Star Wars Enemies of the Empire, or whatever it is, the Friends and Foes, or whatever it is. And man, did they come in handy. All right, so the next one is the Foes of Terrinoth. So these are all the bad guys. So this should be some really cool art, because if you've played the Descent board game, you'll know that, well, A, for Mr. Mean, it's one of my favorite board games. And B, the art is fantastic. So, and again, same thing on the back with the credits card. It just tells you need the Realms of Terrinoth book. And then Foes of Terrinoth, it tells you how to use the deck on the back, and it's just a splat card. Oh, wow. So yeah, not even the art. They didn't even recycle the art from the board game. This is straight up. I'm not sure if this picture is in the rule book or not. I think it is. But that's the Barghest. That is sweet. There we go. My camera just doesn't want to focus it. There we go. So a Beastman, Berserker. Let's see, what does Questwise say? I have not run any yet, but yes, I will be picking them up. I love the Star Wars ones. Yeah, man, the Star Wars ones are, ooh, the Death Knight. Look at that. Let's see if I can get the card to focus without my stupid face being in there. That's nice art right there. That's classic. A Dragon Hybrid. You don't want to run into these guys. They are brutal. But fantastic art, man. A Feral Dragon. Oh, man. And the art is, shall we say, amazing. That looks pretty good, man. You got to admit, that's pretty sharp. And again, stats on the front, all their abilities on the back. Wow. I'm just trying to see if anything else. Goblins. Witcher, grotesque, kobolds. This is a classic, iconic creature from Descent the Meroid. It's a water beast that's nasty. It's not nice. I don't know any other polite way to put it. But yeah, they're gnarly. A necromancer, so we got some NPCs, an ogre warrior, a reanimate, and a spined thresher, and a wraith. What's nice about these two, if you haven't used these, if you haven't seen the Star Wars ones, or you haven't seen these, is in the bottom left corner, it tells you if it's a rival, a minion, or a nemesis, or nemesis. Really cool. I mean, the art is fantastic. The cards are very useful. They're a light laminate. They're plain card thickness. I mean, you can hear it. Like I said, I think they might actually be a little thicker than the Star Wars cards. I know that was some complaints with the Star Wars cards. They were a little bit on the thin side. So they seem to have listened, because these feel a little thicker. and they are slightly glossy. So I would imagine that you could write on these with a dry erase marker, and it would come right off. But I can tell you, I'll be putting mine in clear sleeves to use. Unfortunately, if you put them in clear sleeves, because these are the same size as the Star Wars cards, they will not fit back into the clamshell plastic box. But that's okay, because for now, I'll keep them in here. So you got your bestiary, basically, and your Denizen of Terrinoth. I would love to see a monster manual come out for this, but I know how Fantasy Flight works. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but Fantasy Flight is known, and this is a huge pet peeve of mine and why I really hate supporting them, but damn it, I love to hate them. They don't support their games for long. Star Wars, I think, is one of their longest running licenses, but that's because it's a license. Any of their own proprietary games that they've come out with, they are known for just dropping them. Fireborn, fantastic game. If you guys run across it and you see it, pick it up. It's a great game. They don't support it. I mean, they've got a placeholder on their website for it, and you can download some stuff. But it's been years, and they've come out with no new books. Mistborn, or not Mistborn, I think it's Mistborn. A couple other ones. They had one, I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was basically a 3.5 setting. And it was, what if Sauron? It basically was, what if Sauron had won, and what happened, to Middle Earth. But it was a D&D 3.5 setting. I don't remember the name of it. They even made a short, really bad, like D setting movie. I mean, really, I don't think there was any well-known actors in it. Midnight. Thank you, Questwise. I knew you'd know. Midnight was an awesome setting, and it was basically what if Sauron and Saruman had won, and it was a great setting, fantastic setting. I have several of the books in PDF. I never was able to pick them up because it was one of those settings that they came out with it and it went out of print right away. And then I don't know if they ever did another print run or not. It kills me that, because it's a cool setting. I would steal it right now. Like I said, I have the PDFs. I would steal it and I would run it in Genesis if I didn't have this. It would be the setting I would use. But Realms of Terrinoth, if you don't have this, go out and buy it. I do recommend you get it from Amazon or your friendly local independent bookstore in Traverse City, Michigan. Go in there and ask for Questwise. It's $49.95. I did not pay $49.95 for this. I got this off of Amazon for, I want to say, right around $45 with free shipping with Prime. So, and I waited till it was out for a week or two before I picked it up, and Amazon dropped the price, and that's how I got it. And it's funny because the Genesis core rulebook, they're about the same thickness, you can see. And the Genesis core rulebook, which is, in my opinion, very well done, is $39.95. So they, lure you in with the cheap crack, and then they hit you with the full-blown price. And my understanding is that's going to be their pricing module, because the rumor is Android is going to be the next setting/supplement, which I'm very disappointed in that, but I understand why. The Android card game makes a ton of money for Fantasy Flight and Asmodeus, so they're obviously going to give the fans what they want. I wish they would put out Twilight Imperium, because that would be a nice hard sci-fi setting with all the different races and everything that they have in it. I think that would be a great book, and I think it would sell like hotcakes. I know a ton of Twilight Imperium players. It is probably all-time favorite board game out there for political type board games, or, several different ways to win. But yeah, it's amazing. So I did a review of Genesis on my channel. Go back into the archives there and take a peek. And I also did a review of Terrinoth. Go take a peek there. If you want to know more about it, of course, if you have questions, you can always email me, jpolak@gmail.com, or you can just, hit me up. Questwise says he wants to use a Cyberpunk Netrunner-like game. Then you want the next book, which is Android, which is basically Cyberpunk. It's a sci-fi futuristic world. It's their I don't know if you've ever seen their collectible card game or their living card game. I don't believe it's collectible. But yeah, that's the next one. Questwise says, sweet. Yeah, that's their next game. I see we got another person watching. If they want to jump in the chat there and say hi, so I know who it is, that'd be cool. I'd give you a shout out to him or her, or them or it. If you're an alien from another dimension watching, that's also cool. We don't discriminate here. Mr. Mean loves everybody. So, any other questions or concerns about these? I guess they're hard to get. Quest-wise, and I don't know if you have a local gaming store in Traverse City, but do they have these? Are they in stock? Do you know? Anybody else? If anybody else knows, they're not here in Duluth, Minnesota. We have 3 gaming stores, 2 here in Duluth and 1 in Wisconsin, in Superior, which is literally a short bridge ride across, a 5-minute bridge ride, and you're in Superior. And it's literally, I'd say I can get to it in less than 10 minutes from my house. And nobody has them. So, but we're a small town, Duluth, not a large gaming community here. There's a decent amount of gamers, but they all want to play D&D. I'm trying to teach them that there are better games out there. Not that D&D is a bad game. I think D&D is a great game, but there's better games in my opinion. I like D&D. I ran it. I'm a certified whatever. I'm a judge, GM or whatever for the Adventure League and all that. But they have enough GMs here. I only step up at conventions if something happens and they need me to run. Speaking of conventions, segue, shilling away for my local conventions. Gamehole Con is coming up, and it's in Madison, Wisconsin, which is about 5 hours away from me. So I have decided that if I get a job in the next month, which it's looking pretty good, I am going to do my damnedest to get to Gamehole Con and run some the Dark Eye there. Dark Eye is near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite all-time RPGs, and I'm debating whether or not to run Simba Room, because this is another one that I really, really enjoy running. Questwise says he has to check with his local game store, the War Room, which that's a good name for a local game store. Ours is the one in Wisconsin is called Level Up. It's a 40K shop. That's mainly what they cater to. They do sell a lot of board games. And then the 2 here in Duluth is Rogue Robot Comics and Games. And as you guess, they are more of a comic book shop than a game store, but they do have a decent section of D&D, and they've got a bunch of older stuff that's on the shelf, but they sell a smattering. He gets weird things in. It's very eclectic. So I like to stop in there and see what he has. And then we have Dungeons End, which is a hop, skip, and a jump from my house. And he is a D&D store and a 40K store. He does sells a lot of Androids, sells a lot of Star Realms and, quick card games like that, non-collectible card games and stuff like that. But he doesn't stock any of this stuff, which irks me. My chat just went away. Oh, there it goes. Questwise says the Dark Eye is near and dear to my heart as well. Yes, sir. I remember one of your early reviews was hearkening back to my review of the Dark Eye, and it was very nice of you to give me a nice shout out on your channel. I appreciate it. And I think I've returned the favor a couple of times as well. So I lost my train of thought, man. See what happens when you go live? That's why I don't do live, man. I record this shit because it goes crazy. My kid's being awful quiet. The wife's taking care of him, so I know he's okay. And just so you guys know, I wasn't talking shit. It's right here, man. Look, I got my tassels going on, so I know where I'm at, and I'm going to run this. I'm working on the adventure as we speak. I do have a number of pre-gens, so if you're going to be in the Madison, Wisconsin area in November, I believe it's the 8th through the 11th. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be there at their convention center, and I'm going to see if I have. Oh, stupid. There we go. Let me go to Gamehole. Let me go to their website. Matthew Mercer is going to be at Gamehole Con as well. He runs Critical Role. For those that don't know, he's also a very established voice actor for anime, and he's been in I think there's a 3 or 4 movie series called Mythica, and he has done that as well. So my plan is, if everything goes well, I'm going to try to make my way to Gamehole Con. So those of you that watch this in the future and or watching now, if you're not a Patreon member, please become a Patreon member. That will help me get to Gamehole Con, where I'm going to run the Dark Eye and Simba Room. I might even run Genesis. What is that? Questwise, you have indeed. Your channel has really inspired mine. Oh, thank you, man. That's nice to hear. So how do you have more subscribers, you jerk? No, I'm just kidding. He has more subscribers because he went into cahoots with what's the name of the game company? Bloat Games, I think it is, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think he also helped do some writing for one or two of their expansions. So not only is Questwise a valued YouTube community member, but he's also an author, which is awesome. I actually have some writing credits to my thing. I've done some stuff for Buffy the Vampire Slayer game and All Flesh Must Be Eaten for Chris Pramis and his gang. For George Valikos. I get those two guys confused all the time. We had another person jump in on the video. If you don't mind jumping in the chat and saying hi, that'd be great, so I know who's in there. You don't have to, of course, if you don't want to, but it'd be nice. We were going over and talking. This is going to be posted to YouTube, so you can watch it later on, but I just went over these. We kind of showed some pictures. I'll show some more in a minute. It's Larry. Hey, Mr. Larry, what's going on, sir? Larry's a subscriber of mine. He's an awesome dude. He always has nice things to say on my YouTube channel and everything. So these, Larry, we were just talking about. I'm going to call you out and put you on the spotlight. These are the cards. I don't know if you have any interest in these. I'm hoping you do since you're here, or you just want to see my scruffy face. I'm a nerf herder. These are awesome cards. If you haven't seen them, I guess from what I'm reading on the interwebs, they're kind of hard to get a hold of, and I find that odd. Well, no, I should say I find it odd that the local game stores aren't carrying it, but the game stores in my area have not carried it. I don't know about any of the others. My chat just disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. There it goes. It came back. Thanks, Larry. Yes, sir. I'm going to try to get there. So tell your friends to come subscribe to my Patreon account so that you guys can pay for me to go. That'd be awesome. But that's what I use that money for, is to buy this stuff. These are like $8, I believe, brand new, $8.95. It's about 35 cards, I believe. 35 cards, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. They are nice and glossy. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they will stand up to a wet erase or dry erase marker because they've got a really nice gloss coating. But I'm going to put mine in. Game card sleeves. And the cool thing about Fantasy Flight is they do sell all of the sleeves to fit all of their games. So if they have like all the little tiny cards in Descent, they sell those sleeves for those cards. What you saying there, Larry? I've had to order Genesis and Terrinoth. Haven't seen any at my favorite local game store. Yeah, I'm fortunate that 2 hours away down in the Twin Cities, I have the Asmodee and Fantasy Flight headquarters, and they have a game center there, which is a store and a huge gaming area where you can go in and play. If you ever get the chance to go there, definitely check it out. Every weekend they're doing something, which is cool. They have snacks and food that you can get, so you don't have to leave the gaming center, and it is very well air conditioned in the summertime when it gets a little swampy here in Minnesota, and they have nice AC in there. The Genesis book. And of course, the first setting book, Realms of Terrinoth, are out. Obviously, you can get them in PDF as well if that's your gig. And then, like I said, I ordered these from Game Nerds. Larry, if you don't know about Game Nerds, it's Game Nerds with a Z, NERDZ.com. Shameless plug. They're not sponsoring me or anything, but that's where I bought these for like $6.95 or $7 something a pack. So, all right, Questwise, game on, brother. Be good. Thank you for popping in. Questwise has to leave. He's got some stuff to do. He's a popular man. And Larry knows about him, and he recommends him too. We'll see. There you go. Two great minds that think alike or slightly insane. I don't know. let's show these again since Mr. Larry didn't get to see it. This one is the denizens of Terrinoth. So I don't know if you've seen the Star Wars cards, if you've used any of those, but that's my son screaming in the background. I apologize. So you get obviously the place card, which again, I think the art on here is phenomenal. Let's show some art we haven't shown. Okay, here we go. Dwarven Dragon Hunter. So there you go. There's the art for the Dwarven Dragon Hunter. And you can see the gloss on there. And like I said, I am almost positive that you can write on these with dry erase. You know, as a matter of fact, let's do a live on-air test. Let's just see. Oh, I don't have a marker. Darn. Oh, I do. Hold on. Mr. Mean has this set up here, man. Can I tell you? There we go. Let's get a little marker. And we just threw miniatures everywhere. They're plastic pre-painted. No big deal. All right. So here's a little wet erase marker. Now, I'm doing this on my card. I'm going to do it on the back so as not to mar the art. So let's see if we can write on the back down here. And let's see if it erases. So the answer is no. See, I'm glad I didn't write on the front. It erases a little bit, but I had assumed once it dries, it would not come off. So note to self and to everybody else, don't write on and put them in a sleeve first. But that's the Dragon Warrior. Let's see. Oh, we have a Dwarf Gilder. This is a rough looking woman, man. Let me tell you, I don't want to cross her. I think she'd kick your ass. And with those stats, 2 brawn, 1 agility. All dwarves have a crappy agility. 3 intellect, 2 cunning, 3 willpower, 2 presence, soak value of 3, wound threshold 14, skills melee light 2, range 2, resilience 2. And then, of course, it goes on the back to tell you all of her abilities, her equipment, and a brief little piece of flavor text. The other card that I really, really like. Yeah, that was wet erase. I don't know where my dry erase markers are, but I have a funny feeling they wouldn't work either. It's not enough of a gloss coat that it would keep it from permeating. So I don't want to make that mistake ever again, and that's why I did it on the back side of the card. Get that out of the way. So there's the gnome minstrel. That is pretty sweet there. So, like I said, and I'm going to put these in sleeves, so it's not a big deal. The Rune Golem, if you've seen the new Fantasy Flight Rune Wars, which is based in Meros or Terrinoth. Terrinoth is the continent. Meros is the world. This is one of the iconic guys. Another good one that I saw. Oh, yeah, here we go. The Lonix, however you want to say it. It's a beast. It looks amazing. And then we have a Leonix Rider. So obviously, look at those stats. You don't want to run into that if you don't have to. Not if you're a new player character. It'll be be a little difficult. But these are the Dizzians. So the Orc Outrider. That's I didn't even kind of pass. Oh, Orc Spirit Speaker. Look at that guy. That's I don't know why my camera doesn't. Any other time this camera, it's a Logitech digital camera. It works great. It just doesn't want to focus. Priest of Kelos. That's pretty cool. I definitely will be using that pretty soon. I can tell you. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. So that's the Dizzians of Terrinoth, which, like I said, super cool. And then the next pack is the Foes of Terrinoth. So we got another person jumped on the chat. So if you want to pop in there or pop in and say hi, I'll give you crazy shout outs out. I'm happy that you're joining me. We're going over the Terrinoth Foes and Dizzians. We just went over the Dizzians. We'll show them again in a minute. These are the Foes of Terrinoth. So these are all your bad guys. So this is pretty much for the GM. So right now, how many per pack? They vary between about 25 and 40 cards. So give me a second here. So there's 20 in the foes, and I believe there's about the same amount. Yeah, I would say 20, maybe 25 in the Dizzyans. But there's 20 in the foes of Terrinoth for right around, I think it's around $8 or $9. You get this. You can find it cheaper on Miniature Market or Game Nerds, or maybe even Amazon by now might have them. Although from what I'm seeing in like the Discord and on the G Plus chat for Realms of Terrinoth, these cards are getting hard to come by, and they just came out. I think Saturday they were released. I got a shipping notice, I believe Friday or Thursday night, telling me that it was shipping. I pre-ordered them from Game Nerds. We've got so the monsters you get, and I'll show pictures in a minute, but you get the Barghest, the Beastman, a Berserker, Blood Sister, Death Knight, Dragon Hybrid, Feral Dragon. I showed that art a minute ago, but it's super cool. A Ferox, Flesh Ripper, a Giant, a Goblin, Goblin Witcher, Grotesque, Kobold, a Maraud, a Necromancer, an Ogre, a Reanimate, a Spined Thresher, and a Wraith. And then, of course, you get a little card that tells you a little bit about it. Let's see. So then where was the cool art was the dragon. Let's show that again. Well, the Dragon Hybrid is pretty damn freaky. Larry, to answer your question, there's only 2 packs out right now, the Dizzyans and the foes. So that's the Dragon Hybrid. And then the Feral Dragon I thought was pretty darn awesome. I like that picture. One of the things Fantasy Flight has always done is they've always had top-notch art. I don't think any game or product they've put out has had shitty art. If you're a fan of the Descent Miniatures board game, this will look familiar. The Meroid, it's an iconic. It was on the cover of the first box, and I think it's on the cover of the second one. The Reanimate is also pretty popular because if you've played Rune Wars, which is their miniatures tactical game, these are the main bad guys, one of the antagonists that you fight. So, and in the anatomy of a card is basically you have the name of the card on the top. Below the art there is the stats and all its values. The bottom left is what's important to the GMs. This tells you what level the adversary is. Is it a minion? Is it a nemesis? Is it a rival? And so when you're balancing encounters, that's what you need to know. And then on the back is their talents, abilities, and any equipment, and then usually a small portion, a piece of fiction. Now, this art is ripped out of the Realms of Terrinoth book. It is pretty much all the same art. So you're not going to see anything amazing, but like the Wraith is pretty solid too. I think that's a nice looking picture. There we go. So, and then again, of course, the stuff on the back. So, I mean, and they're baseball card size, same size as the Star Wars cards. You can put them in a sleeve, in a game sleeve, and you can be done with them. And I believe they're probably going to do the same thing with Android. They're going to come out with something very similar. I would say, though, knowing Fantasy Flight and how they tend to do small print runs, I would say pick these up while you can, because once they go out of print, who knows when they'll reprint them, because they seem to not do enough reprints as fast as they need to, in my opinion. But I don't know, maybe the supply and demand is different. But I know the Star Wars adversary deck has been out of print for quite a while, and they print a couple and then it disappears. So Larry says $7 from Fantasy Flight Games, $5.60 from Miniature Market plus shipping, I assume. Yeah, and you have to play shipping from Fantasy Flight as well. My son is being a putz. But yeah, so that's the cards, guys. I mean, any other questions or anything? It's neat stuff there. I like them a lot. I would highly recommend them, especially getting them from from Game Nerds or Miniature Market. Give him his binky. Give him his binky. It's in his bedroom. Sorry about that. Well, let him play on hardwood. So anyway, my son is being a putz and having a fit. But that's a story for another time. Those of you with kids totally understand my pain. But he's wonderful, and I love him. Wouldn't know what to do without him. He's pretty awesome. So yeah, you can get those. Like I said, I would recommend you pick them up if you have any inkling that you're going to run the game. They're definitely, I think, a really good GM tool. Do the players need them? No, I don't think so. I don't think players need them. I think if you're a GM, you don't need them. Yeah, Larry, they've got if you go to the Terrinoth monster section, it's the same information. There's nothing in there that's not on the card, and vice versa. So they're complete. It's basically just condensed down to a playing card size, so that you can have it for ease of reference. So you don't have to if you don't need the book, the rule book, the Terrinoth book, you don't have to lug it. You can just bring the monster cards and the denizen cards, and you've got your NPCs. You can put a face to a name. It's handy to have. It's nice to have. Not all of us are Matthew Mercer and can't run games as well as he does. But it's just a helpful tool. It's not anything any GM needs, but it's definitely a nice to have. And I'm glad I picked them up. And like I said, they were only $7 each, and I think $2 or $3 for shipping total. So I mean, like I said, I got notified, I think Thursday night that they shipped, and they were in my mailbox today. So not too bad. I mean, I know people, if I'd have waited for a store, I could have went, I could have drove 2 hours to Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and picked them up from the Fantasy Flight store directly. But that's a 2-hour drive. It's going to cost me more than $3 in gas to get to Minneapolis and back. So I'm okay. Yeah, Larry, I think you'll have fun using them if you pick them up. I would definitely order them because I don't know what local game stores you have in your area and if they carry a lot of Fantasy Flight stuff. But if they don't, then you're going to want to order them because I'm pretty sure they're going to go out of stock pretty darn quick. But like I said, I'm happy to have them. I think they add some flavor to the game. Yeah, they do. Larry says they don't have them at his local game store, which sucks. So yeah, you're going to need to order them. I think Amazon's got them right now too. I did see them on Amazon, but how long, I don't know. Because I would think if anybody goes out first, it'll be Fantasy Flight, then Amazon, and then the local smaller like Game Nerds and Miniature Market. But well, guys, we've babbled on for close to an hour. I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm going to get my son ready for bed. And we had a couple people on the stream. This will go up on YouTube in a week for my non-Patreon subscribers, and then it'll go up tonight for my Patreon subscribers. So if my Patreon guys didn't get to get on here and see it, they can come on and see it at their convenience. And then my YouTube subscribers will get access to it next Monday. So guys, unless there's any other questions, I'm going to call it a night. Get ready to get my family settled in and look for a job tomorrow. So as always, peace and hair grease. Everybody be well. Game on. May your dice roll crits and be happy and be nice. That's my big thing. Be nice. All right, guys. Later. Thank you, Larry. Nice talking to you, buddy. Take care, everybody.